What's up? How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm Jasper D. Platt.
I'm Quin.
I have never read the Bible.
I've read it a lot. I'm going to read it to him.
That's all, baby. That's literally the entire show.
It's the whole thing.
When, nigga, does that become the fucking case? Exodus,
We finished Genesis.
movement of your people.
And we're moving on to Exodus.
Exodus.
Like, okay, so I don't want to harp on this too much, but I cannot explain to you how genuinely satisfying it felt to be in a new book of the Bible. Like,
Oh no, it feels
it
very
felt
good.
like we were never going to. Nothing's changed.
It felt like I took a shower.
Yeah.
It felt like I had been like wearing a shirt that was 2 sizes too small, and then I took it off and I put on like a shirt that fits. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel this is how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like at the end of John Wick 1, when he finally kills the dude that killed his dog.
Yeah.
That moment's just like, if that movie had ended there, that's how it felt to end. Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
We-
We're so not even close to being
No,
even.
we're in the same book.
We're so like we
We
have
are.
done nothing. Page 44. We're on page 45.
Which Bible should I choose? Which is my new best friend?
Why don't you start with the big brown boy?
Oh, good old Brownie.
Can we call it
himself.
Josh?
I don't want to give Josh that power. I don't think he deserves it.
I want it to be Josh.
Oh, I don't want to.
Hey, Josh. This is Josh.
This is you. I'm going to shit on this Bible later to show you how much I hate you. Look at my new baby. It says Exodus 4 times.
Exodus.
Exodus.
It's hard to say 4 times in a row like that.
Exodus. And
Exodus.
the second book of the Moses, commonly called Exodus.
Yeah, there's one of them where like these are the books of there's a certain amount of books of Moses. The Old Testament has books of Moses. They're like his story or whatever.
But how can this be the second book of Moses? We haven't even fucking met Moses yet.
Genesis is the first book of Moses. I don't know.
Fucking figure it out.
I'm trying. You're Canadian now.
You don't watch Letterkenny?
I did. I
Yeah.
did watch like a few episodes, but then it was one of the, I had to get other shit done. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this all day if I'm not careful.
I can figure it out, but
Yeah. So, this just starts so strong.
oh, this is actually stressing me out with the 4 different books. I don't know which one.
Well, so
I'm
leave it
gonna-
off to the side.
I'm gonna leave it off
when
to the
you need
side.
reference. We'll turn to
It's
it.
stressful to look at. 'Cause
That
you're
makes sense to
you're
me.
like, starting off, I'm like, where do I start?
Everywhere.
Since you have that one, I'm gonna go to
Do
the,
it.
the
Do big boy. Do
tried
big
and
boy.
true big boy. Going to Exodus.
You're using your bookmarks.
I am using the bookmark.
I know.
State. Oh, right to Exodus, baby.
So you remember how Joseph was in Egypt and he was friends with everybody, and he brought all his like family was like giving food.
And this
shit?
is not Jesus Joseph.
no.
This is Technicolor Dreamcoat
Yes.
Joseph. Oh,
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. And he was the
son of Jacob.
Yep. He was in jail. He wasn't in jail.
Yep.
Then he was the king, and
Yep.
then he was still the king.
He was never the king, but he was the king in all but title.
He was Dick Cheney.
Yeah, exactly. I made that joke.
You did make that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
So-
Dick Cheney. He
yeah.
was in charge, but he wasn't in charge. But
Right.
he was in charge.
But he was in charge. So the book Exodus starts by listing all the sons of Jacob because we can't get away from this fucking piece of shit.
Oh, wasn't there? Never mind.
Okay.
Because I thought the Living Bible, it did that thing where we were looking at it, where it, like in the other version it was like, and 200 she-asses and
Yeah.
20 man goats.
It's just like listed.
And it's like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but this,
It does, but that's just a different part of the book.
it kind of does. It kind of just zooms
Blah, blah,
through
blah,
it.
blah. Yeah.
Because this takes 5 chapters, I think, to get to. Yeah, and this does
Yeah.
1 to 5. Okay, yeah.
So it lists everybody that went to Egypt with Jacob. All of Jacob's sons go to Egypt, and it said all in all, Jacob had 70 direct descendants who went to Egypt.
It's my boys, Simeon and
Simeon and
Levi.
Levi.
Oh,
They're still here.
They're the only good ones.
Only good ones.
After 50
as far as we know.
chapters, there were two good people, and they were directly related.
So, verse 6, in time, Joseph and each of his brothers died,
What?
ending that generation. I just appreciate that it explains how generations end.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
Exodus?
Yeah.
That's a hard start.
Yeah, it is. Jacob's descendants had so many children that
Okay.
they began to fill Egypt.
But I thought the generation generation, but not the whole.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like that,
bloodline.
like that. Like your parents are a generation,
Right,
Right, but like
right.
Jacob's descendants just like fucked like rabbits.
Okay.
just non-goddamn stop.
Got it.
And obviously, as things happen, the pharaoh dies. New pharaoh comes to power.
Joseph?
No,
Okay.
because Joseph was like the guy that was in charge, but he wasn't in charge, so he couldn't. Right.
He was just the hand.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then a new king
Made all this
comes
shit
on
happen,
the
but
scene.
the king told him what to do. Got it.
Exactly. And this new king has a super reasonable fear.
What is that fear?
That fear is that there are too many Hebrews.
I feel like that's not reasonable.
And he's worried that if war were to break out,
Okay.
the Hebrews who are living in Egypt, and for all intents and purposes are essentially Egyptians.
Right.
If war were to break out, these Hebrews would join the opposing side, defeat Egypt, and my favorite quote, then they could leave.
I don't get the fear.
It's insane. It makes no goddamn sense.
That makes no sense.
No.
However, that is very, very on par with like modern politician fears.
Well, yeah.
Where it's like, hey, you can't like what is a good example? You know, it's almost like there are people fighting for the white race, thinking that other people are gonna fight them and that the white race is inferior, but they think it's superior. But it's like,
But in actuality, it's just like if we could just be chill, it would be fine. Like
Yeah.
there's no war.
why do you got to freak out?
Yeah.
Like you're freaking out is causing the war.
You're freaking out because you know how unbalanced the game is and you're afraid you're going to get caught on the side that's had way too many advantages. So you just have to attack first. It's like, guys, I've noticed. I don't know if you have noticed. Things have been like way good for us for a long time.
Yeah, it's been really easy.
Almost as though like that unfairly. So
It's almost like we punished people because they were different in order to make
To advance
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah.
And now,
now I'm worried that we're going to get caught.
yeah.
So I'm thinking we should attack all the other people first.
I was just thinking the same
Right.
thing. I think we should kill them.
Because
We should kill their women.
logic would
So they
dictate.
can't make more.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
But like, just hear me out on this. Logic would dictate that if we kind of came clean and said, hey, this is a really unfair game that we're playing right now.
Sure.
Maybe we could bring it more towards the middle. You would think logically that people would be receptive to that and we could be in a world where things could be more reasonable and we could just be, but I feel like we should just attack everybody and kill them.
I thought you were going to give us reason for a second, and now I'm glad you
Well,
have
no.
lost your senses and now want to kill people.
No,
Thank
we're just
you.
going to kill everybody.
I thought you scared me for a second.
No,
It seemed like you were going to be like,
no.
hey, maybe we should like apologize to people for the things
God.
we've done.
But I didn't do anything. What do I have to?
I did nothing wrong.
Right.
No.
No.
Nope.
I was just born. Not my fault that I was born this way.
Hashtag born this way. Okay.
yeah.
Lady Gaga will tell me in 2,000 years that I was born this way.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's kill the Jews.
Yeah.
All right. Because listen,
Yes.
if we don't kill the Jews, they'll want to leave.
Exactly.
And
the thing is,
we need them around because
well, here's the thing.
yeah.
Realistically, they could just leave whenever they want
Yeah, whenever
because
they're
they
keeping
just
them here.
they just live here.
Yeah, they're just kind of hanging out.
But if they want a war, then they could leave.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
So, wait, they could leave whenever they want?
Yeah.
But they could also start a war.
Right.
And when that war starts,
Right.
they could just leave?
Yeah.
That's not a war. A war's when two people are in the same place and they're
Well,
fighting.
no. But like, there could be a war and they could fight against us. I feel like you're not really on the same page with me. I need you to be on the same page with me.
I'm not on the same page, but I agree with you.
Okay.
I want to kill
Let's
him.
do it.
So you don't kill me,
Yep.
please. Please
Perfect.
Don't kill
Love
me.
it. Love it. Love it.
I'll kill whoever as long as I don't die.
That makes perfect sense to me.
That should be the fucking subtitle of the Bible. I'll kill whoever as long as I don't die.
So in all fucking seriousness, like that's legitimately, I made a note of the fucking verse. It's verse 10. We must find a way to put an end to this. That's the expansion of the Hebrew people.
Okay.
If we don't, and if war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. Then they will escape from our country. You don't have to escape from a place that you just live in.
No. Are they keeping the Hebrews as slaves?
No.
Really?
No. So all up until this point, these are all the descendants of Jacob and Joseph who just moved to Egypt because Joseph was buddies with everybody and he took care of them.
Yeah.
So everybody moved there because they were just like, this is a cool place to live.
Yeah. It's East Nashville.
Yeah.
But then, man, I drink too much not booze in my coffee.
There's none of your coffee. That's just coffee.
So it's like if a bunch of people move to East Nashville, and then the mayor of Nashville is like, listen, we need to make sure these people in East Nashville don't leave.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, kill them.
It makes no fucking sense. So.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have questioned anything.
Nope.
I'm sorry. Let's continue.
So they decide to make the Israelites their slaves.
Oh, now they're slaves.
Yeah.
They weren't slaves.
Right.
But then they could have left.
Right. So now they're slaves. Yeah. And I actually want you to look up verse 11 in Josh.
Okay. Verse 11. Which version?
I want to hear it in all. So here's the thing. Verse 11 says, so the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves and put brutal slave drivers over them, hoping to wear them down. I want to know what kind of slave drivers are described in each of our books.
11?
11.
Okay. I'm going to read just 11, not like 11 to anything else.
No, just 11, yeah.
Okay, this is the King James Version. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. And that was in the book of King James. And then the modern language, 11 is, so they put gang foremen over them to make life hard for them with heavy toil, and they were building the store cities, Pithom and Ramses, for Pharaoh. Living Bible. So the Egyptians made slaves of them and put brutal taskmasters over them to wear them down under heavy burdens while building the store cities, Pithom and Ramses. And then the Revised Standard is, therefore they set taskmasters over them and afflict them with heavy burdens, and they built the store cities.
I just want to see how they describe brutal slave masters. Because, like, I mean, brutal is a very modern term. You hear that and you're like, oh, God. Like, you can just imagine what that probably,
No, just brutal and Living Bible.
Yeah. But the point is that essentially they, like...
Lots of taskmasters.
Yeah, which is a great show. It's worth the work you have to do. But you have to get a VPN and then sign up for something called Dave, which is a UK TV channel.
Dave?
It's just Dave.
I don't like that.
I know, but there's a Taskmaster TV show on Comedy Central. It is garbage. Do not waste your time. Sign up for dave.co.uk, get a VPN, pretend you're in the UK. It's the funniest show on the planet. I'll tell you about it after this is over.
Not sponsored.
No, it's not in any way, shape, or form.
Sponsored.
But Jesus Christ, go watch
By
that fucking
literally
show.
no one.
There's like 9. See, it's amazing.
Very open
it's incredible.
to sponsorship.
Very open.
Especially from
Anybody.
Chick-fil-A. I want that honey roasted barbecue sauce.
We understand.
All over my body.
It got weird.
I got Chick-fil-A yesterday, and it's just I bought the sandwich and the fries, and I had 5 packets of honey roasted barbecue sauce. I use all of them. It's delicious.
So they
I did that
decided to make
thing
them
where
slaves.
I like pulled it out of the package, but I left a lot, like half the packet was still full, and I
Yeah.
just and sucked it right out. Just,
I'm less comfortable being around you as a person now that I know that you do that.
if it was able for just consumption only, just give me like a warm bowl of soup of honey roasted barbecue
Can we just
sauce.
move on with this story because I'm getting very uncomfortable.
All right. Let me just fetish size my condiments. I have a lot of opinions about condiments.
I understand
If
that,
you
but this
wanna
is not the
hear
show
them.
for that.
Can it be?
We'll make a second channel called I Want to Fuck Some Ketchup.
I don't want to fuck ketchup. If I want to fuck any sauce, it's gonna be sweet and sour sauce.
Okay, so fine. We'll fucking call it I Want to Fuck Sweet and Sour. Well, I don't know. We'll
It's like,
figure it out.
some people call it Polynesian, and then like
Listen.
different. Well,
So the thing that happens
all right.
is
Bible,
they're
Bible,
slaves.
Bible. Yes. Now they're oh yeah, they're slaves now. I'm upset. Yeah. Now,
And they get the shit kicked out of them constantly. But that just makes them have more kids somehow.
I don't. This feels accurate to today. It feels. I don't know.
So the more quickly the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more quickly the Israelites multiplied.
I
The
don't like that.
Egyptians soon became alarmed. They decided to make the slavery shittier because that's the thing. You can be a slave is not like the bottom of the barrel. You can dig deeper.
You
But
can work for the Quin Dickey Mining Company.
that doesn't work. They still
Them
have,
niggas over there, like Quin Dickey Mining Company, got worse than that. Lo and behold,
so the Pharaoh decides that the only solution is to go to the Hebrew midwives and tell them they need to kill every male that's born. Every baby boy that's born, the Hebrew midwives need to kill him.
I know this story.
I know you do.
I know where this
I
is
know.
going.
Yeah. But you don't. But you do. But you don't. It's not as bad as you think. There's just a lot of bullshit, but it's fun.
This is my knowledge because there's a movie about
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah, very quickly surpass your knowledge. But for the time being, here we are. So they don't. They fear God, the Bible says.
Oh, wait, the midwives?
The midwives, yeah.
Okay.
And so they're not going to kill the babies.
Good.
And yeah, they're kind of the heroes of this story thus far.
Because they didn't murder infants.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get a win
that
where
was-
I can get one.
That was my favorite part of Deadpool.
What?
The post credits when he goes to
Oh,
kill
when he
baby
goes to
Hitler.
kill baby
He's just like,
Hitler. It's a baby.
it's a bot, but it's good. Oh, it's so good.
The same thing happened in Endgame when they're like, why don't you just go back to kill Thanos when he's a baby? And you're like, dude,
Yeah.
what? Dude, no, that's horrible. You want to kill a baby?
So they don't do it, and Pharaoh's like, the fuck, because he gave a command, and since he's king, he
What's
just
Joseph doing during all
Joseph's
this?
dead.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
That was very
we've
early
moved
on.
long past him.
6. Joseph died. And all his brethren. And all
Yeah.
that generation.
Yeah.
Oh, this is...
Yeah.
I don't like this book anymore.
Did you ever?
I started to. Once Joseph appeared.
That's your
I was
mistake.
like, I know, but I just want to... if I got to do this... and
That's fair.
I'm a very emotional man.
That's fair.
I'm going to attach emotions to anything I can.
understandable.
And right now it's the midwives who didn't murder infants.
They did their babies. You're gonna continue to like them. You're just gonna question their bullshitting skills. So the king goes to him and he says, "The fuck! I gave you a very specific command." And their response is, "The Hebrew ladies have their babies so fast, we can't get there to kill them in time.
We can't kill these babies quick enough.
They're out."
I stab one and then 2 more come out. Hail Hydra.
It literally says that they can't get there in time because the Hebrew ladies have their babies too quickly. It's verse 19.
And the midwives
Yeah.
said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. I hate King James. I hate King James so much. Let me bring Josh out.
Okay, yeah, get Josh out. It's verse 19.
I'm gonna do. You have the what version do you
This
have?
is NLV.
New Living.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Revised Standard for
Cool.
now.
Yeah.
That was 19.
119.
The midwives said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, for they are vigorous and are delivered before the midwife comes to them. This is confusing. I'm glad you have notes because this is so confusing. Oh my god.
So for the sake of the viewer at home, they told him the Hebrew women are very strong. They have their babies so quickly that we cannot get there in time.
Ooh, modern language actually makes it very clear.
Okay, let's hear that one.
Yeah. Midwives answered Pharaoh because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. They are quick of delivery. They give birth before the midwife gets to them, which that makes more sense.
It makes more sense. But also, just like,
legible.
Imagine that you're the Pharaoh and you're like, listen, kill these babies. My only thing.
Okay.
My only thing is kill the babies.
I will go kill the babies.
Go do it.
Okay.
Have you done it?
No.
Why?
Oh, because the ladies have birth so quickly. I cannot kill the babies quick enough. I stab, and then there's more babies. I'm like, and my arm gets tired from the stab, and I'm like, this is exhausting.
But taking us out of the bit for a second, that was good. But
2 races of an accent.
I don't think so.
I think it's racist if you have an idea of where that accent's from because it's just a foreign accent. No one sounds like that in real life. So it's just,
a lot of people sound like that.
Hello, I am a lady trying to stab babies.
It's racist if you're in the Midwest. If you're from either of the coasts, you've experienced a lot of wealthy families that have maids that sound like that.
fair.
No, but like the point I'm trying to make is that the book is acting as though like they're somehow not allowed or able to kill the baby once it's actually born. Like they have to do it mid-birth.
If you don't get it fresh out the vagina, then it's not a baby anymore. It's a man.
No, they just have them so fast, they're just and it's out. Like I can't get it when it's halfway out of the vagina.
Gonna fight back now.
It makes no sense. Like it's like it
None
makes
of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. We're splitting hairs over bullshit right now.
I know, but it's just like, why does he accept that excuse? And why is that an excuse that like pops in their head? Like, oh well, it was all the way out. Can't do anything about it now.
I do like the way you said it at first, where it's just like, oh, they're having babies so quickly, I can't kill them all. Because that's the impression I got.
Right.
From
no, I know. It's just
language.
ridiculous. Yeah. So the Pharaoh says, okay, that makes sense. Get all the baby boys, toss them in the river.
But if you couldn't, okay, fine.
Not directly killing, but just toss them in the river.
Yeah, but if you couldn't kill them, like you don't have time to. Okay.
Well, but see, that goes back to my point of like, apparently the only way you're allowed to kill a baby is if it's half born. Once it's fully born, you can't kill it. You toss it in the water because they probably didn't know this at the time, but human babies are one of the only children or one of the only infants that if you toss it in water, they immediately know how to swim.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that why birth in water is a thing? Like in bathtubs?
Yeah.
Because then that baby just knows how to swim?
Yeah.
And then like it can swim forever?
Like they will struggle because obviously their muscles aren't developed. Like it's hard, but like if you, it made that sound very aggressive when I said toss it. But like if you put an infant in the water, they'll immediately start to like try to paddle and like support themselves in the water. Even the things that we're closely related to, like chimps and apes, if you put them in water, they literally just sink.
Oh, wow.
They just like, when you touch like a roly-poly and it just goes up into a ball.
Yeah.
That's what like chimps and apes do. They just go boom, bottom of the water.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny that that's a thing that they did to the only mammal that's able to just swim from like genetic memory or some shit.
It's interesting.
Super weird.
Fun fact for the listeners. I want you to go on your phones right now, pause this episode, go on your phones, look up the scientific term for a roly-poly. It's just fun.
What is it?
It's just, I'll leave it to that. But I have some fun with it.
But I want to know.
It's fun to say. I don't know how to say it without looking it up.
After the thing.
Yeah, after the thing. Just remind me.
So
it's fun.
During this time, as the Bible says.
Ooh.
Did you get a
Big
headline?
boy has the years.
Big boy has the years. Chapter 2, what year are we in?
1530 BC.
1530. I like it. I don't know why that makes me happy to know what year we're in. Because
it
bearing on me.
doesn't tell you at all.
Yeah.
It's just, and then time passes. And if you look at some of the chapters, it could be 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then.
So where were we at the beginning of the book?
So 1530 at the beginning of Exodus.
Yeah.
But
no.
Chapter 50 in Genesis is 1689 BC.
Okay, so like
100. And then we turn the fucking page and it's 1530.
159 years. No, I did my math wrong. I've been drinking.
You have. Well, no, because it goes backwards.
That's what makes it hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not going to do the math.
100, more than 100 years.
Lots of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots
yeah.
of time.
No.
I think actually 150 is right.
So during the time of the throwing the babies in the river thing, you know the story. Man and a lady have a baby, and the lady doesn't want to throw her baby in a river. Weird.
Don't get it. Women.
Fucking pussy. And so she holds on to him for a minute, and she's like, "Oh, he's my baby." And then after 3 months, for some reason, that's the moment at which she realizes she can't hide him anymore. What's up?
Mine says Levi had the kid with a wife.
Mine says a man and a woman from the tribe of Levi.
I'll take Levi wherever I can get Levi.
That's
man.
fair.
Yeah.
But it's probably like a family name
Moses
type
is a
thing.
descendant of Levi?
One of the good ones.
One of the good ones. And Moses is good, right?
Yeah.
Like throughout the story, he's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't.
Yeah.
Yep. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Don't keep thinking.
Sorry. I'm
Let
sorry.
me
I'm sorry.
live
I'm sorry.
in the
I thought-
now.
I'm sorry. So they have a baby. She has him for about 3 months. And then she, for some reason, 3 months is the point at which she thinks, oh, shit, I can't hide this anymore. Like, babies cry a lot. I don't know how you...
Have you seen A Quiet Place? That's all they do.
I don't know how you got through 3 months without whatever.
Anyway.
So she decides, okay, I don't want to drown my baby because I'm a gigantic wimp. So I'm going to find a way to preserve the baby. So what she does is she makes a little basket. You all know the story. She puts it in the river. The baby's sister is watching in the corner. The basket's there. A princess comes down. She bathes in the river. My favorite part is that she sees the basket. The book says that she has slaves with her, or servants. I'm sorry, servants. They're different. She has servants with her, and she sees the basket and makes her servants get the basket. Like, I don't know where it was in reference to her, but she couldn't be bothered to get it, which is just a fun note for me that like it's in the book.
Get that basket. Like, come on, man. It's like,
Bitch, it's 6 feet away.
you
Take
could
3
just
steps.
just come on, man. Just go get the
Fuck
fucking
you.
basket. All right.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. You heard.
I forgot I'm
you
a
heard that.
servant.
Oh, I am one step away from slave.
Servant. No, you just are.
Yeah, no, you just don't get beat.
As much.
So the sister of the baby is watching the whole thing happen. The princess goes and gets the kid, and she's
isn't that whole? So the baby's sister is just pulling a Phil Collins in the air of the night.
yeah,
Saw that you were drowning.
yeah, no, yeah. The weird thing is that the sister goes up to the princess and says, "Hey, do you need somebody to nurse this baby?" So it kind of seems to indicate that like the princess isn't even old. Like, it could be a 10-year-old princess that's just like, "Oh my god, I love baby." Like, there's no indication of the age of the princess in any way, shape, or form,
No.
as far as I can find. So she goes up to the princess. There's a hair on my mic, and she says, "Do you need somebody to nurse the baby?" And the princess is like, "Oh my god, that'd be amazing. I don't want to do anything to contribute to
I don't
this
wanna
child's
do
life."
anything.
Yeah, but if I could just have it, somebody else does all the work, that'd be great. So the sister's like, "Oh, cool. No, I have somebody." And she goes and gets the baby's mom.
Which is her mom.
Yeah.
And the
baby's mom. Yeah. But she's like, "Oh, this is a wet nurse. She'll take care of the baby for you." And the princess is like, "Cool." So
I don't like this princess.
no, she's a dumb bitch.
Dumb.
But
Dum, dum, dum.
the baby's mom gets to essentially raise her own child and not have it die.
This is like Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, it's cool, except it's good. It's the only difference between this and The Handmaid's Tale.
This is not good. Don't give this credit.
It's better than The Handmaid's Tale.
I will say the Prince of Egypt movie is better than Handmaid's Tales.
Yeah,
The songs are great.
they are.
Let my people go.
So, verse 10, later when he was older, does not give us an indication of age or time.
Still
have it?
1530?
Chapter 2,
chapter 2
verse
is-
10.
Verse 10. It doesn't give
Okay.
dates. I'm
So
going to skip ahead a little bit without looking at stuff.
Yeah.
To give you an idea of the. Oh, shit. Now we're in 1450 in chapter 3.
So
We just go a full 100 years.
30 to 1450, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's 1530
Wow.
BC in chapter 2, and we go to chapter 3, and it just starts off in 1450 BC.
Wow. Okay, so he was like in his 80s? Shit. Okay.
Maybe here he's in his like 60s.
Maybe. Okay, yeah. I mean, we God never really made it clear how long he was
In
going to
the
let people
movie, he
live.
was like a sexy 30-year-old.
Yeah.
And then he gets married, and he's got some gray hair.
Yeah.
But apparently he was like 80,
Also, he
and then he
gets-
turned 85.
Whatever. So he gets older, and then the princess names him Moses because I drew him out of the water. Apparently, like Moses is like in some way.
Dude, you want me to find a translation for that? 'Cause
Yeah, I would
could- what
love
is
that. It's a 210.
210.
210.
Oh, so it's Hebrew. It's Mashah. M-A-S-H-A-H, to draw out.
Okay.
Mashah.
We're
is-
learning.
Dude,
We're
this is
doing
great.
the thing the show was intended to do.
Yeah, that's exactly why I bought 7 Bibles.
Bibles. So many more than 7.
Well, yeah, but like these are
Because that's 4. Josh is 4 and 1.
Josh is 4 and 1. But we already have one of those. So let's say it's 3 and 1.
No, he's still
3,
4 and
4.
1. He's just a little redundant.
Yeah, that's fair. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
13.
13 Bibles.
13 Bibles. This bottom one is a dictionary. It
It's
doesn't matter.
Don't
It's
even
just-
worry
it's on
about
the
it.
book.
That's for notes and
Yeah.
also aesthetic purposes for now. Yeah,
So-
that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mashah.
So in verse 11 it says many years later. Do you want to check Josh 2:11 to see if it tells us like a different time measurement?
Oh, yeah, I turned a page for 211. Okay. Oh, you're gonna love the Revised Standard.
Okay.
211 starts with one day.
Oh God.
It's
not helpful.
Not at all. Living Bible. One day, many years later. But there's an asterisk for that.
Okay. Can we get an asterisk?
You're not gonna like it. It doesn't help because it's like a weird asterisk. So it's like it has a lowercase b instead of an asterisk right next to it. So you look down and you go to A, name of Moses sounds like a Hebrew name. You need to dry out. B, implied.
Okay, look. So a later time when he was enough of an adult to have an idea of what was going on. Just put Josh away. Josh is useless.
Actually, no. Modern language. Modern language is coming out on top.
Okay.
211. In time when Moses was fully matured.
This is legitimately the most helpful. Fucking hell. All right, Josh. Thank you. Okay.
1/4 of Josh is useful.
It sounds about right.
The one with the asterisk isn't useful.
Pointless. So, at a point when Josh, sorry, I'm getting,
Nope.
I'm
Fuck
drunk.
that book. Damn it, Josh.
Moses has grown up, so he's fully matured. So I'm assuming mid-20s.
Let's say mid-20s.
Okay, so mid-20s. He's been raised as an Egyptian. He's cruising through town. He sees an Egyptian slave master beating the piss out of an Israelite.
Are you saying cruising through town because in Prince of Egypt this happened when they were chariot racing?
No, actually, no. I'm like I always read it as just like he was just going through town. Like he was just like, I'm gonna go do some shopping.
Have they mentioned
and-
his brother yet?
No, not for a while.
This is the only story I know, so I'm gonna just because of Prince of Egypt.
No, please do bring it up.
with the starring Val Kilmer as
so
Moses.
weird.
It's weird.
Somehow less weird than the casting they did for the next
Gods of
biblical-
Egypt would it was
That
just-
and
I
then
don't know.
Noah with fucking Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that too.
Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't need to. Okay, so people were actually let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah,
People were
well, you
talking
needed
about
to see. Didn't know anything about the story. Go on.
nope. Whitewashing Bible characters.
Can we not?
No, I'm just gonna real
Okay.
quick. Just real quick. People were complaining about Prince of Egypt recently. I saw about how it was whitewashed, but I'll say it's the only movie I'm okay with it being a white cast because they portrayed them as brown people in the actual movie.
I was gonna say.
You have to look up the cast to know they're white. Like if you watch the movie, they're just brown folk. But if you watch Noah and you watch Gods of Egypt,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
like motherfucking this sucks.
It's like this is an Australian. This is a dude from LA. This is a dude from Texas. Fuck you.
Yeah, but if you watch Prince of Egypt,
Jesus was white.
Jesus was a white man.
Apparently, he was the only white man from Palestine.
with beautiful golden brown hair. I mean,
If I grew my hair out, I would look like Jesus in most of the fucking drawings.
if any white dude grew their hair
That's what I'm
out, they
saying.
would all look like
I am
Jesus.
the most generic.
But he could sing in Jesus Christ Superstar. So
Yo,
I'm
he could.
with
Murdered,
this.
but-
Sounded like fucking Chris Cornell. It was dope. But yeah, so I'm fine with Prince of Egypt because they were brown in that. So it's like, and a kid watching it,
right.
like a 10 or 11-year-old is gonna be like, oh, brown people, Egypt, cool, got it, neat, moving on.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go on IMDb and
Well,
be like,
just the thing is, like, I understand. If we're gonna go down this road, let's go down this road. I legitimately understand the frustration.
Yeah.
Because you could have very easily cast a more ethnically accurate cast of people to voice the characters. I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting that.
No.
But if we're going to look at the other things, I'm on your side because Jesus Christ, at least it visually represents the thing that you want to visually represent, which is what children are going to identify with.
Yeah.
No 6-year-old's going to be like, I liked how that person looked like me, but they sounded like the guy from the Computer Wears Sneakers movie.
Yeah. No, kids
No,
gonna be like,
fuck you. They're just
I
going to be
like the
stoked because
songs.
the thing on the screen looks like them, and that's valuable.
and that's the point of a
That's
fucking
the point.
especially an animated movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So Moses is cruising through town.
okay. I'm gonna try not to reference this back to Prince of Egypt.
Do as much as you can
possible.
because maybe we can call some stuff out that's different.
Maybe.
Because you seem to remember that movie way better than everyone else
I
in the world.
saw it like a year ago.
Okay, that makes sense.
Barely
Like for the first
recently.
time, or
No,
Okay,
again.
just again.
I was like, I wonder if this movie holds up. It fucking does.
Fair. So
Soundtrack's
Moses
killer.
sees a slave master beating a slave, and he's like, "That shit ain't cool." And verse 12, after looking around, sorry,
No, you're good.
to make sure that no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand.
Dope.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Moses.
Takes a turn very quickly. It's very upsetting.
Oh, from here on now?
Just for the next verse, really quickly. This may be an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Based on the interaction he has with the Hebrews in the next verse, maybe they deserved to be treated like shit.
I'm interested to see where this goes.
The next day, Moses is walking through town,
Sure.
and
As
he
you do.
sees 2 Hebrews fighting.
Okay.
And he goes up to them, and he says, "You're brothers. Like, you should be taking care of one another, not fighting each other."
Moses sounds like a nice guy.
And one of them turns to him and says, "Who are you to tell us how to live our lives? Are you going to kill me like you killed that Egyptian?"
But I killed that Egyptian, man. Will I help you out?
Maybe they deserved to be treated like shit.
It doesn't say all Hebrews.
Not all.
I'm going to say that guy. That guy's an asshole.
That guy, but like if that's the point of reference they're calling out, I'm just saying maybe. The whole story's made up. We can say anything we want about fictional people. So I'm just yeah.
That's true. Yeah, these are fake.
I heard something recently that like most of the I'm gonna look this up. I'll look this up. Episode 9. Look forward to some historical reference points. Apparently there is absolutely no historical reference to reliably point to say that there was ever an Israeli captivity in Egypt.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like there's literally nothing in historical texts to say this happened. I don't know how real that is. I'm going to look into it. But
and you have the years now. So you could look through and be
Yeah.
an actual historian.
So yeah, that guy says that shitty thing, and then Moses freaks out, and he's convinced that everybody knows what he did, so he runs away. He's like, "Fuck! I gotta get out of here."
Okay. I'm going to follow along with the modern language because
Cool.
this one has been very, very nice to me. I have so many Prince of Egypt songs stuck in my head that I'm trying hard not to sing right now.
That's understandable.
Ugh.
Verse 15 says that Pharaoh did find out that Moses had killed that man, and he did send people to find Moses and punish him. So Moses ran to the land of Midian.
Okay.
When he arrives in Midian, he finds a well and he posts up. And it turns out that there is a priest in town who has 7 daughters.
It's like the opposite of Snow White.
Yeah. And those daughters have sheep, and they'll take their sheep to the well. And unfortunately, there are a bunch of shitty shepherds in Midian who will scare off the daughters and their flocks. They'll say, "Get the fuck out of here, you dumb bitches." And they will not let them have water.
That's mean.
And Moses is at the well, and he sees that happen, and he's like, "Hey, you're being a bunch of dumb pieces of shit. Fuck yourselves." I'm positive that's exactly how he talked.
I hope so.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh." And then I mean, that's pretty much what happens. And then he rescues the girls. I'm not giving him as much credit as the book gives him, because there's a lot of women being rescued from the shit that like doesn't necessarily require rescuing.
Right.
So,
But when they do need a rescuing, no one rescues them.
right, exactly. Yeah, like when they sit on camel saddles full of gods,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
but they're
that
on their
whole thing.
periods.
Yeah,
So
that was a weird thing. I forgot that happened.
we're moving on.
Yeah, please.
So Moses helps them. He gives them some water for their flocks and for them.
This is the bedrock of our society.
I know.
There's a period statue.
And then the ladies go, "Okay, thanks, bye," and just dip. And they go back home.
And she said unto him, "Peace, nigga," and she dipped. That's what it says in this. In the King James version,
it's
nonetheless.
weird. It's weird that there's an N-word in the King James. Like they were comfortable just putting it out there.
Yeah, they just threw it in.
So they go back to their dad and they tell him what happened. And he's just like, "I love you. You're my kids. But the fuck, man? Like, this dude helped you. You did, like, say come home and, like, at least, like, have some food. Like, we could have given him dinner or some shit." So they go back and get him.
He's still there.
He's still
Just waiting.
They bring him back to the house and he moves in.
Okay, fine. I need to
You
learn.
shouldn't. Yeah.
I need to be better
I
about
know.
questioning this book.
You should. I just want to really quickly bring up that this is not the first time that something has happened far away from home that people have like gone back and reported and just like left the person in a field.
No, this is the same exact thing as the whole fucking earring or
Yes,
nose ring situation.
yes.
It's the same exact
They're
thing.
like, "Why is he just out there?" They're like, "Oh, like go fucking get him."
Yeah. Bring him back.
Yeah.
Okay, and they go back and he's exactly in the same
Yeah.
place that he was. Again, if you're writing this story, get out the middleman. Just bring him with you.
Well, exactly.
This doesn't happen.
No.
Like you said, there's
Yep.
no documented instances of Israelites being fucking, or Hebrews or whatever. The fucking
It's the same.
term.
They're interchangeable.
Goddamn, it's Jews being slaves in Egypt.
yeah.
There's no historical documents that say that happened. If you're writing this fucking story, but he came with us because he was nice to us, so we just brought him here.
Right.
Why would you waste ink and being like, there was this guy, and the dad's like, he was nice, and he helped us. Okay, where is he? Probably back in the same fucking ball, fucking though.
Watch, bring it back.
Okay, I'll go get him. It's like that's not.
Yeah.
All right.
So I love the phrasing of that. You can look at it in Josh if you want, but I just like the phrasing here. It's verse 20. The dad says, "Well, where is he?" And he said, I'll just read it verbatim. "Well, where is he then?" the father asked. "Did you just leave him there? Go and invite him for a meal." Verse 21. Moses was happy to accept the invitation and settled down to live with them.
Which one do you want? I think modern language has been
I
the
kind of
most
want the
out.
most ridiculous in a way.
If you want most ridiculous, then I have Big Boy right in front of me. But it's not even the most ridiculous. It's just the hardest to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the most illegible.
Yeah, I'll do modern language. He said, "And where is he? Why did you leave him there? Invite him in for supper." Moses was willing to stay with the man who gave Moses his daughter, Zipporah.
Yeah, that's the second half of that verse. So he essentially moves in.
I don't like the word "gave."
It's in all of them because
The man
ladies
and
are property
He gave
and
Moses
not people.
Zipporah.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Oh, I got so many of these daughters. Just take this one. I don't want this a hard name to pronounce, and I don't want to talk to her that much.
Makes sense.
wait. Is that Moses' only wife?
So far. I mean, I didn't get past chapter 4.
Oh.
I can't remember.
I think Prince of Egypt takes a little liberty with this because he marries
I'm
like
positive they do.
I think he only marries one lady in that
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, he might only marry one lady in this.
There's a whole song attached to it, but it's
I
not,
can't. I just
it's-
can't remember. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it is. I think it is Zipporah actually because it's lay 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 lay. It's a whole song. It's the best part of the whole movie. Actually, no, the movie's actually really good.
yeah, it's great.
Just go. Why are you watching this? Just go watch Prince of Egypt.
Go watch this
But also,
and tell people to subscribe because we need 1,000 subscribers before we can make money.
please and thank you. But also watch Prince of Egypt. It's just fun.
No, do but like after this, so you have a point of reference.
It might be on HBO Go.
I'm sure it is.
I'm not sure.
You're
It's
positive.
on one of them.
So he marries Zipporah. He has a kid. They're content.
Nice. I don't like that you're doing that. That you're building up or something.
Years passed, and the king of Egypt died.
Oh shit.
But the Israelites still groaned beneath their burden of slavery.
Fair.
They cried out for help, and their pleas for deliverance rose up to God. God heard their cries and remembered his covenant promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
God promise.
He looked down on the Israelites and felt a deep concern for their welfare. The fuck was this bitch at? The last 100 some at goddamn years.
Just fucking around, dude.
He remembered them? Fuck you. Fuck you. If this wasn't on YouTube, I'd get my dick out and give you a third fuck you.
I'm glad.
Fuck you.
I'm glad it's on YouTube. I don't want to see that happen.
I know.
I don't want you to just
I'm just so
wave your dick around.
angry.
Or that God didn't help them at any point.
He deigned to remember them at the end of. Fuck you, you stupid piece of shit.
I'm sorry, guys. It was a SpongeBob marathon on, and I just couldn't. It was.
Do you remember the episode when they have the snail race
Of course, I remember the episode.
and Patrick has the? It's just the best one. You
I
know,
mean,
like-
it's not. It is a good one because you can tell they wanted to say Squidward testicles so bad the entire time, but they couldn't, so they didn't. However, the Bubble Bowl is clearly the best SpongeBob episode.
it's a very, 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 very
And
good
it's
one.
sweet victory, yeah. And it's ours for the taking.
Can
It's
you
ours for the fight.
can you tell me what 224 says in KJV?
I don't want to, but I'm gonna.
Thank you.
2:24, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. But it's got a lot of asterisks.
I'm sure it
Here.
does.
24. Nope, because
all good.
asterisks all told me to direct to different chapters. Oh, the chapters where he promised them stuff. It just tells me to go to those chapters where God made a
It
promise.
just- I know I do this a lot,
Yep,
and I know it's extreme.
sure.
I
You're
know
gonna
people
do
probably
this
don't-
again?
I'm probably going to do it again.
Just gonna have a drink of this.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna look over here. Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm gonna be absent.
The loving, perfect God that created the entire universe remembered that his quote unquote chosen people were being beaten to death every day. And we're supposedly celebrating the fact that God was like, oh shit, I should do something about that. Fuck you in your shitty mouth, you dumb piece of shit, asshole creator. No one wants you. Go home. But God! That's all.
Fair.
So Moses has become a shepherd For all intents and purposes, he married his wife. He had his kid. He's living with his grandfather, or I'm sorry, his father-in-law, who has 2 names.
That's fine. Everyone has to.
It's very weird. In chapter 2, he's referred to as Ruel, and then in chapter 3, he's referred to as Jethro. And there's actually an asterisk in my book that says, "Oh yeah, he had 2 names."
I have so many books now that I have to follow along in.
It's chapter 3. Well, in my book, chapter 3, verse 1 is where his second name comes into play, and it explains that he had 2 different names.
I'm not going to read 5 books.
That's fine.
What's his name again?
Initially Ruel, secondarily Jethro.
It says no asterisk next to it.
Interesting.
So
well, which name does
just
it tell you in chapter 3, verse 1?
Flock of Jethro.
Jethro. Okay, cool. So he's Jethro. End. The end.
Sitting on a park bench. Eyeing little girls with bad intent. No. We're not making money off this episode, even if we could, because I've sung like 6 different songs.
Actually, you're allowed to do that. It's just like playing the actual recording is the issue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exodus.
Exodus.
I'm going to keep doing that until we're done with Exodus.
Woo.
Oh, come on, man. All right. Let's keep it moving.
It's just this much.
Oh, so we're going to be out of here pretty quickly.
That's about how much was Genesis. Okay, so
there's so many numbers next to
Moses
this.
is cruising along. He's a shepherd now, and he's walking along in the desert doing his thing, and he sees a bush that's on fire, but it's not burning up.
And then it was time.
And in verse 3, he says, "Amazing! Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see this."
I get that.
I mean, I get it too.
That makes a lot of sense.
I feel like if you were 100% sober, you might see a bush that refuses to burn down and be like, I should not be near this.
Yep. Absolutely.
When the Lord saw that he had caught Moses' attention, he called to him from the bush. I love that God is so clueless. He's just like, oh, that's what worked? Cool. Come on over, man.
You can't question things because then you have an avalanche of questions that you just have
And then he follows it up with, don't come any closer. This is Holy Land. Take your shoes off.
I hate you.
I know.
I hate you.
I know.
I hate God.
I know. Moses needs to take his shoes off
Yeah.
because they're unholy, but his feet are fine.
Sure.
Whatever. So he takes his shoes off and goes close to the burning bush. And he need to get my shit together.
Fair.
God announces himself, and Moses is terrified and covers his eyes and like, oh, I'm not worthy to see even a fiery representation.
He's a modest man.
Yeah, and
Modest Moses.
That's fair. That's fair. And God says, "Hey, man, I know all the shit that's going on, so I got you. Don't worry. It's gonna be all cool. I'm
Thanks,
gonna
man.
go ahead and I'm gonna take care of it. I'm the God of your ancestors.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna get all this squared away.
Thanks.
Yeah, no
for
worries.
helping me out.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
What? Like the whole time?
Uh huh.
With other stuff?
Yeah, I've been here.
Okay.
I have heard the cries for deliverance from the harsh slave drivers. I'm aware of their suffering, so I've come to rescue them from Egypt. A few decades late, but whatever.
Fucking almost 100 years late.
Yeah. So God says, don't worry, I'm going to go get all the people. I'm going to take them out of Egypt, and I'm going to take them to the land of the Canaanites that I promised to all the previous generations of people.
That was like 300 years ago.
It's like, don't worry, it's still going to happen. I'm still got it. I still got it.
I'm so glad we have Big Boy for that. At the very least. 'Cause
Seriously.
We wouldn't have the...
We would have no idea how many. We would just know it was a lot.
I could go back and find out the exact year.
I would love that.
Actually, no, I can. Because he made that promise to... Whom?
Oh, Abraham first.
It was Abraham?
I think so. I mean, that was the first person that he promised it to.
Okay.
So while you're looking that up, I'm
Yeah,
just going to tell you
keep-
what's going on. So
I'm gonna find that
God
out.
says, I'm going to take you out of Egypt. I'm going to take you to the.
I found the year.
Let's hear it.
You're not gonna like it.
I'm going to love it.
1913
Oh my
BC.
Christ.
I promised your ancestors 500 years ago.
So, God damn it. So he says, yeah, I'm going to take you out of Egypt. I'm going to take you to Canaan, and you're going to have all this stuff. And then it's going to be so awesome. You're going to come back to the place that you are right now, and you're going to throw me a party
Okay,
because I'm dope,
sure.
God says.
Fine.
And Moses says, that's great. I've heard tell of God promises in the past. Only problem I see, if I cruise back to Egypt and I tell everybody, hey, I'm here from God, they're going to be like, that's bullshit.
Moses, making some sense, dude.
And God's like, no, don't worry about it. I got this.
That's God. That's his fucking. That's his deal. That's what he does.
He says in verse 14, tell them I am the one who always is. Tell them I am has sent me to you.
That's interesting.
Verse 14.
Yeah, mine says I am that I am.
Yeah, I am that I am. I am that always is. All those things are like the whole I am thing is a big part of God's Old Testament's.
Chat. This tells
Fucking
me
bullshit.
It has an asterisk next to the whole I am thing.
Yeah.
And it tells me to go to chapter 6:3. I don't know where. It just says 6.
It's probably
Oh,
Exodus 6:3, I'm assuming.
Okay. Then it tells me to go to John 8:58.
So these are all the times that God has referred to himself as I am.
Oh, I thought it would explain it.
No, it's just all the times it happens.
I don't like that.
That's stupid.
That's not helpful.
It's not. The whole I am thing just infuriates me, but we're not going to get into that.
I was hoping it would give me like a Hebrew explanation. That's what I was hoping for from the
No.
asterisk. It's just like, oh, because I did it for Moses, where it's like, oh, but it doesn't do that here.
No. So then God says like 3 times, like, hey, just tell people I am and it'll be cool. And then he says, well, actually, here's the plan. It's a good plan. It's a good plan. It's a great plan. You're going to go to the Pharaoh. You're going to tell him, hey, my God appeared to me in a message, and we need to take a quick 3-day vacation because slaves get vacations. Quick 3-day vacation.
Okay.
Go out in the desert, make some sacrifices to our God.
I don't like the sacrifice part, but all right, fine. Let's move on.
And then the king's going to say no.
Oh, he is?
And then God says, it's cool that the king says no because I'm going to torture him. And then he'll say yes.
That doesn't seem cool.
That's the plan.
You could just, again, cut out the middleman and just have him say yes.
No, but he's not going to. He's going to say no.
But
He's not going to torture him.
But this all seems very
It does.
superfluous.
It does. It does. It does. It does. It does.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. So that's the plan. And then in verse 21, another one of my faves.
Mm-hmm.
When the time comes that God announces that the Hebrews will eventually be free, he says, I will see to it that the Egyptians treat you well. They will load you down with gifts so that you will not leave empty-handed. This is verse 22 is where it gets really good. The Israelite women will ask for silver and gold jewelry and fine clothing from their Egyptian neighbors and their neighbors' guests. With this clothing, you will dress your sons and daughters. In this way, you will plunder the Egyptians.
Plunder?
It's not plundering. You're just asking for it, and they're going to give it to you because they're fucking terrified of the magic sky man that's setting their lives on fire.
This is just so weird.
It's so weird.
This is all weird.
Chapter 4. Moses.
Oh, hey, we're making
we're moving
progress.
on. Moses
Rod
raises
of Moses?
the very valid concern that God has given no actual sign for the Israelites to believe in. And God's like, yeah, that actually, okay, I hear what you're saying. Sure. So God says, check it out. Take your staff, throw it on the ground.
Nah.
Turns into a snake.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And then Moses runs away because it's a snake. That's fair. And then God goes, no, don't be scared. Grab it by the tail. And then he does, and then it turns back into a staff. And God's like, see, magic, I'm God.
Okay.
That was in Prince of Egypt, right?
It was.
Okay.
I believe the snake was in water. I don't remember that.
So
much.
this is something I actually did not remember
watched it
when I
super
first
baked.
read this back, but now that we're here, it's pretty interesting. Moses is like, dude, that's dope. That's pretty rad that I can do the snake thing.
Yeah.
But is that enough? God's like, it's probably not. Put your hand in your jacket. So Moses puts his hand in his jacket. He's like, cool, pull it back out. And now it looks like it has leprosy and it's disease. And he's like, cool, put it back in your jacket. And take it back out. It's fun again.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't like any of that. That's not fun. The snake thing was, why can't you do anything nice? Why can't you be nice magic?
Don't know how.
How come they can't just be like, oh, smell your hand. It smells like a hand. Smell it again. It smells like flowers. That's pretty cool. That's a nice thing. Look at your pocket. Pull it back out. Oh, there's some gold in your hand. Put it back in. The gold's gone. Like, that'd be nice. Why does it have to be like leprosy and snakes? That's your magic? You
Yep.
have bad magic.
Yeah. And then God's like, oh, also, if you take some water from the Nile River, then it'll turn into blood when you pour it on the ground. Wine when you pour it on the ground.
Ooh, neat. I like wine.
I'm just going to see if what this has for
Yeah.
Moses really quick. Joseph. Moses becomes the leader. Page 71. We'll deal with that next week.
Fair.
So
Was there nothing in there?
there was, but it actually seems to be semi close to this with less of the
okay.
magic. So Moses looks at God and he's like, "Hey man, so these magic tricks are cool,
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
they're pretty rad,
I got magic, son.
but I am super bad at talking to people. I'm really awkward.
Yeah, I got that vibe from you.
Stumble over my words.
Yeah.
it's not great.
Nope.
It's just bad, kind of across the board.
You ever thought about not being that way?
Well, see, here's the thing: it's kind of you made me that way, and also now you're asking me to do a thing that goes against like my skill set.
No, little baby bear can't talk to people. Bear.
Yeah, it's a legitimate challenge for me.
I'm sorry, I can't talk to people.
You know, I thought you were cool
Did you?
when I first met you.
Mistake. Put your hand in your pocket.
I don't want to.
Put your hand in your
I
pocket.
did it already.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it right now. Do that. Pull it out. Leprosy. Put it back in. Pull it out. Still leprosy. Fuck you.
So, God has one of his only good lines so far in this.
Is this tattoo worthy?
It kind of is. It kind of is. So
Yeah.
Moses has this whole speech about like, hey man, like public speaking just is not my thing.
Wait, that's
okay?
really in here?
Yeah.
He's socially awkward?
Yeah.
Bible canon?
Yeah.
Where's that at? I want to see
It's-
Moses be weird.
410.
Nope, not doing. I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. I want to see what it says in modern language. Actually
Yeah.
big fan of modern
Yeah.
language. I don't. This is almost good, and it's bad at first, and then it gets.
Okay, let's hear it.
Moses said to the Lord, "Please, Lord, I am a no orator, now and never was, not even while thou art speaking of thy servant. I am slow of speech and of an awkward tongue."
I mean, orator is like oration, like speaking, like influentially.
Was that 11 or 10?
10.
Oh,
Because 11 has my fucking favorite
okay.
line that God has.
I didn't. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
what's 11?
11 is, who makes mouths? God says to Moses.
What? It says who makes mouth.
In mine, 411.
Yeah, it says that. It says that in there.
And the little before that, the Lord becomes angry with Moses after that. He's like, bitch. God damn it. Fuck it. How about your brother? He can talk for you then. Just go do the magic.
He still needs a front man.
Yeah.
Moses needs a front man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he walks away, and God's like, "Don't forget your fucking magic stick, you piece of shit. Fuck out of here, cunt."
So aggressive.
God legitimately gets angry at Moses for all this, which is great.
And Moses is asking pretty reasonable questions.
He really is.
I'm just socially
He really
awkward.
is.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
So Moses goes back to his house. He goes to his father-in-law and says, "Hey,
Jethro?
yeah." He says, "Hey, is it cool with you if I go back to Egypt? I have family there. It's been a long time since I've been back. I don't even know if they're still alive, but I would like to see my family."
Mm-hmm.
And Jethro is super reasonable. Just says, "Of course you can go see your family. Like, why would I not be cool with that?
Right.
Please go." So Moses loads up the family donkey with all of his people and stuff, heads out.
Cool.
This is the part where I get really angry.
Man, all right. This is the part.
Yeah.
You weren't angry before.
I was angry. Now I'm really angry.
All right, let's go into it.
Chapter 4, verse 21. They're on their way to Egypt. They're cruising. Then the Lord reminded him, "When you arrive back in Egypt, go to Pharaoh and perform the miracles I have empowered you to do. But I will make him stubborn, so he will not let the people go."
I see why you're upset. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not going to ask any questions.
You can ask a lot of questions because this is pretty much roughly where we're done, because we spend most of the rest of this episode getting through the next paragraph of this chapter because there's so much bullshit. Ask
How much bullshit? Oh, no,
all
that's
of the
straight
questions.
to the
We're in chapter 4 right now.
Yeah.
When we're done with
Yeah.
chapter 4, we're done with this episode.
point. Okay.
Ask your questions.
I feel like they're the same questions you have.
Okay.
So, and I feel like you're going to get them out much more emotionally than I am. And I feel like I need to leave this to you. I've been drinking a bit.
We both have.
I'm tired now. And this is how they get you. This is how we said it before. But like, even sober, I am just tired. This is just so much information they throw at you, and you have, as a person with logic and reason and your own thoughts, you know,
Yeah.
you have questions because there's so much stuff that happens, and you go, well, why did that happen that way? Like, if you have any sort of curious mind, then you're gonna have questions when it
Yeah.
comes to this stuff,
A lot of them.
and
Reasonably so.
I've been trying to push them aside so we can get through the episode.
That makes sense to me.
And if you're in Bible study, like a legit Bible study, and you have these questions, you kind of sort of have to just throw them to the side,
Right.
in order to get to
Yep.
to the point of the story. Yeah, I don't know. It's
So,
yeah. You go. You do that. You go because we're on the same page.
God explicitly says he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. I actually think you should get Josh for this.
Okay.
4:21. God explicitly states, "I will harden Pharaoh's heart."
Real quick.
Let's
actually,
hear
this-
it.
This
Let's
is
hear it.
kind of
Let's do
fun. This is, we were talking about doing different books.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned earlier, I want to talk about like Judaism, but none of us were raised Jewish.
Right.
While we're doing the Old Testament, because this is technically their book too.
Yes.
But we were both raised in Christian households.
Right.
So we don't know that much about it. So like our knowledge is we would have to study a lot.
Right.
Basically convert to soft convert
To a degree,
Judaism,
yes. Yes.
in order to understand.
Right.
Guess what it says in 421
What does it say?
in the Living Bible?
Let's hear it.
Jehovah told him. It says Jehovah.
Yeah.
It says Jehovah in the Living Bible.
Yeah.
So this could be like our we could use the Living Bible as like, Jehovah's Witness.
Let's get halfway.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Like this is the best we got so far.
Yeah.
Because modern language, the Lord said 21 in Living Bible, Jehovah told him.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind
I
of
mean, but also just like that's just one of the many names that God has.
fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know that much about Jehovah's Witnesses.
They're crazy. They
Other,
don't celebrate birthdays and Christmases.
yeah, I don't believe in them
That's weird.
because every day's special.
Yep.
The Lord said to Moses, as you go back to Egypt, see to it that you work before Pharaoh all the signs I have placed in your power. But I will encourage him in his stubbornness, and he will not let the people go. And 22 starts with, dude, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that? What's even the point of me going? And then 23 starts with God being like, dude, I'm God, it'll be fine. And then 24 starts with Moses being like, but like, what is even the point of me going back to, you're already telling me he won't say yes, and you're God, so you know everything, and you can just change his heart. So why won't you just change his heart? And 25 starts with God being like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm just doing what I want.
Roll quick.
This is all in the Bible.
I know. That's an
what
important point to make, though, because
Let's make that fucking point.
God says that he's going to harden his heart, which insinuates that he is capable of giving in to reason and magical examples.
Yeah.
So I actually
But
looked
God
this
changes his personality.
up. So here's the thing that just really sends me over the fucking edge. I did some research last night,
Okay.
and I found a website called Defending Inerrancy.
What's inerrancy mean?
This book has no errors in it.
Oh,
It
the
is-
Bible?
Yeah, inerrancy. Like there are no errors of any kind.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
And they
so
do
it's defending the the Bible's has no flaws in it.
Right.
Here is how.
yes.
Oh, okay.
They do some of the most ass backwards hopscotch to fucking justify this bullshit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this straight from I copied it onto my fucking notes. The problem. The Bible quotes God as saying, I will harden Pharaoh's heart so that he will not let the people go. But if God hardened Pharaoh's heart, then Pharaoh cannot be held morally responsible for his actions since he did not do it of his own free will, but out of constraint.
Then it's God's fault.
Yeah. Solution.
Ooh.
God didn't harden Pharaoh's heart, contrary to Pharaoh's own free choice.
No. That's not.
The scripture makes it very clear that Pharaoh hardened his own heart.
Does it make it clear? Where does it?
Later,
I have
in the
5
book.
Bibles in front of me right now.
then this happens. It references Exodus chapter 7 to justify things that God says in Exodus chapter 4.
I would be okay with that if Exodus 7 makes sense, but having not read this Bible, I know for a fact Exodus 7 does not make any sense.
No, but
And
here's
it's
the
not
thing. Here's the thing.
Okay, let on me.
It doesn't matter if any of it makes sense. God explicitly states, I'm going to stop him from making a free choice.
Yeah.
And this explanation says, well, no. Later on, after God fucks with him, Pharaoh makes his own decision. That doesn't change that God fucked with him the first time.
So, inconclusively, you can't say whether or not Pharaoh made his own decision. In all evidence points to God making the decision for him.
Correct.
Because I have 4 Bibles in this one Bible. 21. Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see thou will do all these wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand, but I will harden his heart.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
They're ignoring chapter
all
4
4 of them.
because in chapter 7 it says Pharaoh's heart was hardened, but it completely ignores chapter 4 where God explicitly says he's going to be the cause of Pharaoh's heart hardening.
It's retconned within 3 chapters.
Fuck this book.
It's a nightmare.
Fuck this book.
It hurts so bad sometimes. Sometimes these episodes aren't funny and they're just us being angry so we can get through the whole fucking thing.
So infuriating. Oh my fucking God.
Because you want to be a person with reason. And
But you can't when it's insanity that's being fucking spouted at you.
Oh man! Remember when we were happy that we were done with Genesis?
Oh, Dad, remember when I asked you that earlier in the fucking episode?
I want to go back to that moment.
I know, me
That
too.
was a good moment.
You ready for it to get crazier?
No!
It gets crazier.
Why?
No, I know.
Ah!
This is just straight from the thing.
Straight from the
Straight from the thing. This just picks up right where we left off. Then you
Okay.
will tell him, this is what the Lord says. Israel is my firstborn son. I commanded you to let him go so he could worship me. But since you have refused, be warned, I will kill your firstborn son. On the journey, when Moses and his family stopped for the night, the Lord confronted Moses and was about to kill him.
What?
But Zipporah, his wife, took a flint knife and circumcised her son. She threw the foreskin at Moses' feet and said, "What a blood-smeared bridegroom are you to me?" When she called Moses a blood-smeared bridegroom, she was referring to the circumcision. After that, the Lord left him alone.
Nope. Don't want to touch that one.
We have to.
Nope.
We have to. This is the end
of
of it. We have to. We have to talk about this.
Oh, we have to.
We have to.
It hurts
We
so
have
bad.
to.
This was left out of the movie.
It was.
This wasn't in the movie.
Correct.
All they had to do was put blood on their doors from a goat.
That's way later.
Oh, that's not even this?
That's way.
Oh.
No, that's this story. But like so
Yeah.
far into the story, it might as well be a different movie.
Wow.
So I looked this up.
Okay.
Because like in all seriousness, I want you to read 24
I'm not doing it.
26. No, don't read Big Boy's going to be too much.
Big Boy hurts. We got all we could out of
24 to
Big Boy for this
26.
episode.
Read 24 to 26.
24 to 26. I'm doing modern language, man.
That's
Modern
fine.
language It's been helping me
Get
out.
through it.
24, 26.
24
Out loud.
26. Yep.
At an inn on the way, when the Lord met with him and was at the point of taking his life, Zipporah took a flint knife, circumcised her son, and threw the foreskin at his feet with the words, "You are indeed a blood bridegroom to me." Then he let them alone. When she said, "Because of the circumcision, you are my bridegroom in blood."
Actually, I'm going to get this guy out. Wow.
Oh God, what a good idea! Because there's a lot of words that I don't even fucking know what that
So
means.
I'm going to tell you, before I actually read this out to you, I'm going to tell you what I found online because I was doing some research about this. Because this legit, when you read it, it just sounds like they're cruising along and God just shows up and be like, "You want to die, bitch?"
Yeah, that's what it seems
Out
like.
of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, out of left field.
And I looked it up online and it was kind of mind-boggling to me. So I did some research and I found this website that was so infuriatingly cavalier about like, oh, it makes perfect sense. You just have to read it right. That I wanted to find the person and strangle them to death with their own intestines.
Fair.
What the website claimed was that poor translation was to
Okay.
blame for the misunderstanding.
Oh, really? Couldn't fucking figure that one out.
But what they explain is that essentially the way this is set up in the previous verse, in verse 23,
Right.
God tells Moses to tell Pharaoh God is going to kill Pharaoh's firstborn son.
Okay.
And then depending on the translation you have, it can be misinterpreted because the person on this website that I read said that God was like, the next verse is essentially meant to indicate that God has just like locked his sights on Pharaoh's firstborn son. He's like, I'm going for this bitch. And then it cuts to Moses circumcising his son. And it's a totally separate, non-connected fucking story. And it makes no goddamn sense because this says that, nah!
Yeah.
God shows up out of nowhere and just threatens to kill Moses for no fucking reason. This is an insane book, and a drunk person wrote it, and then we translated it, and your fucking explanation makes no sense, person. Jesus. Fucking Christ.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it in all the other ones, and it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense in any of them.
It makes the most sense in Living Bible, but it still doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, even if I read it, it'd be the same exact story with like, oh, that almost makes sense because they don't say bridegroom or blood groom or blood haven like 37 times.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Let's see.
It's just reading this Bible is gross, especially this part. This part in particular is gross. I don't even want to say it out loud, man. Like all the versions I had, it's just fucking
So
gross.
here is a slightly more. I'm actually glad I got this book because it actually has a slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean barely more acceptable explanation.
All right, lay it on me.
In verse 24, it says this incident is enigmatic. As much as I love words, I don't know what enigmatic means.
I'm just gonna look it up right now on my
Please do.
phone because I hope there's not porn on my browser.
Nice porn.
Thanks, man. It was psychological tests I was taking to determine what kind of personality type I am. Enigmatic.
Enigmatic. ENIGMA.
Or
TIC.
difficult to interpret or understand, mysterious.
Perfect. Okay, so the note here says, the Lord seeks to kill Moses and or his son, apparently because Moses neglected the covenant sign of circumcision. Zipporah's
Okay.
decisive action averts tragedy.
I mean, that makes sense.
The most sense out of anything we've read so far.
Dude, fucking A. But, like, okay, again, let's talk about why we do this fucking show. We
Yes.
do this show because of all the reasons we've said before. It's the Bible. It's important to a lot of people. People need to understand what's in here. Do you understand how many fucking Bibles we have for us to make sense of that? We have a Bible walkthrough guide, more or less. I have 4 Bibles in this one Bible. I had a different Bible. He had a different Bible than the Bible I have than any of the 4 I have because he has New Living Translation and I have 4 different ones. So we have probably 6 Bibles that it took to understand what the fuck happened in those 2 verses. This is exhausting.
This book.
That's why we get so angry and we say things that we can't take back because he has notes from 2 different websites to figure out what the fuck any of that was. And it was 24 to 26. You know it's not in action.
I wanna look.
You know it's
I
not
wanna
in there.
look.
Is New International different from New Living,
Yes.
which is different from Living, which
Yes.
is different from Modern Language, which
Yes.
is different from Revised Standard?
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Bibles. What does it say in
Look
New
how
Living?
funny this guy's face looks.
Yeah, that's a dumb looking dude. I'm going to try Exodus 4.
24. Shocker, it's not in here.
Oh, this actually
All right, let's hear it.
like it makes a little less sense than the what's that called? Study Bible.
Yeah.
More sense than any of these.
Okay.
Because this kind of like puts like a story behind it instead
Okay.
of just words.
Yeah.
Starting with 24.
Yeah.
At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses, or Moses' son, Hebrew him. So, like you said, it was either Moses or his son. Because
Right.
they translated it to Moses, but the word was him.
Let me put an asterisk
The
on this
Lord
really
met
quick.
him and was about to kill him. Yeah.
So there are many times I've read that this is a thing that happens. There are many times when a male name can be used to refer to that person or their lineage.
Okay.
So,
well, the
like-
same thing happened with specifically Canaan, and then the city of Canaan and the Canaanites.
And then also in the story where Noah passes out drunk and his dick is out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that whole thing.
I know, I'm sorry. But
Sorry.
one of his sons is punished.
Yeah.
And somebody tried to use translation architecture to make it seem as though that person had like raped Noah,
Right.
but that's nonsense.
No, I
Shut
was
up.
just embarrassed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Do your thing.
So yeah, there was an asterisk next to Moses. They used the Hebrew word "hem," I think, in the original translation.
Yeah.
The lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him. 125. But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet with it. There's an asterisk next to that, and it says, or drew near Moses' feet. Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me, she said. So the Lord let him alone. And then this is in parentheses. Like, this is, at the time, she said bridegroom of blood, referring to circumcision.
Yeah, there's a parentheses in every book that explains what circumcision and bridegroom bloody means. It's weird.
Okay, yeah. So this, again, makes kind of sense.
Kind of.
But you have to have 8 Bibles in order to read the Bible. You have to have 8 Bibles in order to read the Bible.
What kind of God is this? Like, that's like, for all my, I mean, I'm saying extreme things because I believe them, but also because it's funny to say extreme things. Like, I mean, it's both comedy and a legitimate belief.
That's what this whole show is. It's comedy and a legitimate belief.
But in all seriousness, like legitimate question, what kind of a God is this that he comes to you? He says, you're the savior of your people.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no mention of this thing that apparently is angering him so much he's willing to come down from heaven to murder you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere, he shows up and threatens to murder you.
Mm-hmm.
But your wife cuts the tip of your son's dick off, and then God goes, thanks, bye. What is this? What even is this?
I can't answer that. It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsense. It is insanity.
There's like 2 more verses.
All right.
I didn't even make notes for it. I just got so angry about the dick tip thing that I just fucking moved on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Aaron and Moses meet up. Moses tells Aaron everything that the Lord said.
Who the fuck is Aaron?
It's his brother that's going to talk for him because he's a fucking pussy. He can't talk in front of people.
Got it.
He told him about all the magic he was going to do. So Moses and Aaron go to Egypt, and they call the leaders of Israel to a meeting. And Aaron, I love that they can like have me like they're slaves, but they can just like cruise in totally fine and just grab all the Israelites. It's like, hey, guys, we're going to take them over here for a second. And Aaron told them everything the Lord had told Moses, because Moses can't talk to people because he's a fucking dipshit. And then Moses did the miracles this is exactly what happened. He's like, Aaron's going to talk for you because you're a fucking stupid piece of shit, and all you can do is throw a stick on the ground. And then the leaders were convinced that the Lord had sent Moses and Aaron, and they realized the Lord had seen their misery, and they were happy and they worshiped God. And Moses left out the part where God almost killed him because he didn't cut part of his fucking kid's dick off.
That could have been left out of the book.
Every week, I hate religion more. And like I mean, you started out very balanced. You started out just like, hey, like this is important to people. Like, let's figure out what this book says.
I wanted to be fair.
And I started out furious to begin with. Like I
off the bat
hated this book. And somehow I get more angry at this book every time we do.
You've already read it.
Like I'm getting to the point where I cannot express, like I edit these episodes and I listen to them back and I get angry again because I did not appropriately express how fucking furious I am that this book exists and is important, because it's such bullshit.
It's not an important book, man. I don't know. I didn't expect to have this perspective at all.
Yeah.
Let alone this early.
Right.
I mean, this is literally 40 or 54 chapters in.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to be this anti-Bible this quickly.
Yeah.
Like this, I am very quickly realizing how unimportant this book should be.
Yeah.
I wish that we used it for its intended purposes early on, And then like when you said that this should be treated the same way Greek mythology is treated,
Yes.
I was like, oh, dude, that seems a bit aggressive, man. I kind of wish that you didn't say that. And now I'm like, boy, was that an accurate statement. But there's because there's lessons within Greek mythology that you can be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll use this and I'll become a better person. There's things in this book that you could glean from,
Sure.
and be like, okay, I'll do that. I'm not gonna cut my dick that way so I don't die,
Right.
Because that's a bad example because there's so many. I understand how you're feeling right now. Like you want to properly explain your frustration,
Right.
And you are just so angry that you're just. And then people are like, well, they're just angry and they don't understand what's in this book. I am reading it.
I understand every
I am reading it.
fucking word.
I am fucking reading it.
I'm reading it 13 times to try to understand.
I want to understand what people get out of this so fucking badly. Again, we're doing this as a joke, sure, but we are also legitimately trying to learn why this is not treated like Greek mythology. I am trying to understand why this book in particular is the bedrock of our society, because it fucking shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because this shit is in here and it's got shit like that. Like, why is that in here? Why? Okay? Why can't this just be a book of parables? Why can't this just be a weird book where you're like, that's fucking dumb. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this one instead. Why does it have to be an entire everything? Like, it's on our money. It's on our money. This book is on our money. In God we trust. Which God? Which fucking one? Which one are you picking? Are you picking the one where he kills kids for fucking not cutting their penises in weird ways? Why are we choosing that? Like, it's oh my God, it's so fucking infuriating. And I have been trying to be calm. And this shit sobers me up. I did have booze in my coffee. Spoiler alert, it was SoCo. I love SoCo. I've had 2 beers. We had a shot before we started the fucking show. I was angry the entire goddamn time. It's infuriating. You try to read this book to understand. I am trying to be as empathetic as fucking possible and understand where people are coming from when they say Lord is love and God is the light. No, when, nigga, does that become the fucking case? It's not now. I just want to know.
Thank you.
I just want to know when God becomes nice.
Thank you. I needed that. I really needed that because that was all of my anger. That made me feel.
I
better.
honestly saw red. I don't even remember what I said.
I don't either.
I blacked out a little bit.
I was crying into my arm because I couldn't.
Sometimes I need a minute to process my feelings, and then I vomit them out, and I almost cry while I do it.
In all seriousness,
you joked in the beginning about, we're only doing 4 chapters. Like, dude, come on. We've done so many more. We've done 9 chapters in an episode.
we have. We did 10 the last couple episodes.
And the last one, I will say, felt like a breeze.
It did.
In hindsight, not rewatching it or listening to it.
Right.
It felt like a breeze.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
No, it didn't. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, like, we made our jokes and there were parts where we were just like, the fuck. But for the most part, it wasn't.
4 chapters into Exodus.
Yeah.
I want people to take this seriously so badly. I want people to take this show seriously because I feel like we're taking the Bible as seriously as we can.
We are reading it line by line. I mean, like, if you don't like that we're not praising it, I can't do anything about that.
No, don't watch
you.
the show, man, because we're not going to be praising this book.
But
I will try to praise shit when I can.
When we get to something valuable.
Why do you think I'm hanging on to Simeon and Levi so fucking hard? They did one thing.
I know.
And then they just kind of existed in the background.
Yeah, and
they mentioned Levi in passing, that Moses could be related to Levi, and I'm fucking like hanging on with a death grip because I just want there to be good in this book because this is the bedrock of our society. What the fuck is that the case?
But having said that, I mean, we are taking it serious. Like, we are studying this fucking book. Like,
clearly, we haven't even opened this one. This one is just for your notes.
That one's for me.
Yeah, that one's just for you.
Just for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one over there is for the apothecary when we get to that.
Yeah. That one's gonna be weird, man.
And we almost bought another one. I was really considering buying the chronological order one.
Yeah.
But it, I mean, that again, I think would have been more for notes purposes.
That would have just been for us to just be like, oh, interesting. We found a Bible that apparently we learned the Bible is not in chronological order.
Had no idea.
We found a book that was in chronological order, which like would have been cool for us to just be like, oh, holy shit, but it wouldn't have really benefited you, the viewer,
Not
in
at
any
all.
way. So
And I honestly, it wouldn't have benefited me because I wouldn't be able to read it because it would have spoiled the Bible for me.
Yeah.
Which has also been a weird thing I've been trying to, like, people will text me things. And when I tell them about the show, like friends and family will text me things about the Bible.
And
And,
you're like,
I
"No,
have
don't
to
tell
I
me
have to text them or call them and legitimately be like, don't ruin the show. The whole show is I haven't read the Bible. So if you spoil the Bible for me, then I have to like have an inauthentic reaction to it. And that's not the show.
it's not.
So I have to text people and be like, don't spoil the Bible. I've ruined a conversation or 3. to
Oh, weird.
Be like, don't spoil the Bible.
So like without ruining anything, just so
Yeah.
you know, in chronological order, Genesis starts on page 3, Exodus in my book. Exodus starts on page 45, and then in the chronological Bible, the next book is Job, which in my Bible does not start until page 409.
Wow. Yeah, it seems kind of pointless to have the chronological Bible.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I mean, it would just be.
It'd be more for like, oh, that's neat. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly. It would had no actual purpose, but
we started with these
those
2 books.
yeah. Well, we
And-
started with just this one. That was episode 1 was just that, and then you showed up with your own.
Well, I had this
episode
one.
2.
I just didn't bring it that episode. I didn't think
well,
about
but that's
it.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Started with this. Then we got this. And now we're.
Our Bibles are multiplying like the Israelites in Egypt before Pharaoh was terrified.
Don't you fucking make references that I understand now. Don't fill my brain up with jokes about the Bible.
Hey, seriously, if you've watched this, number 1, I legitimately hope you're as angry as we are.
I hope you're on the same page, man. Because
Number 2, thank you. Like, I hope you're. I don't know if you're watching this because you're hoping that one of us dies of a heart attack,
it's gonna happen.
or if you're as angry as we are, or if we're doing a good job. I hope that I and we are doing a good job telling you this story,
Desperately.
because I want you to know what's going on in this whole. Like, I genuinely hope you're getting something out of this. But thank you for being a part of this journey as much as you've been a part of it.
See,